Hari Om. We will chant the Shanti Patha. Sahana Vavatu Sahanam Bhunattu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavit Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amrutam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Let us chant the Dhyana Shlokas. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaita Mritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvamanusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim. Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullaravindayata Patra Netram Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaham Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradipaham Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraikapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gita Amritaduhe Namaha. Sarvopanishado Gavo Dugdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gita Amritam Mahat. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Bhishma Drona Tatha Jayatra Jala Gandharani Lotpala Shalya Grahavati Kripena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Khalu Pandavai Rananadi Kaivartaka Keshava Para Sharyavachas Sarojamamalam Geetarthagandhotkatham Nanakyanakakesaram Harikatha Sambodhana Bodhitham Lokeshajjana Shatpadairaharaha Pepiyamanam Mudam Bhuyat Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Pradvamsina Shreyase Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yakripatamaham Vande Paramanandamadhavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stumvanti Devyaistavai Vedai Sangapadakrammu Panishadai Gayantiyam Samaga Dhyanavastita tadgatena manasa Pashyanti yam yogino Yasyam tam na viduh sura suragana Devaya tasmai namaha. Not to criticize others or find faults. So the turkey was complaining about human beings shortening their lives. We discussed in the previous session that the turkey wanted variety. Therefore, the turkey left its own place to another new location into the woods. Soon the turkey found black ants. The turkey was happy, the young ones were happy. Almost instantaneously, as the turkey is enjoying feasting on the black ants, the mind is thinking of something else. The turkey's mind is put off that human beings are shortening their lives. So the happiness is only short-lived, is only momentary, passing, fleeting. The point to be noted here. The first point is turkey wanted variety. The second point is turkey found what the turkey wants, here in this case black ants, but the happiness is only short-lived, again plunging into sorrow. Third point, an ant escaped the turkey and climbed up, and from that place, the higher place is answering the turkey here. Here you remark another sin, bid thy own conscience look within. Control thy more voracious bill, nor for a breakfast nation skill. So the 3 points here. First point, the turkey wanted variety. Human being sick and tired of doing the monotonous, repeated actions. We discussed that by doing the daily routine duty, the person is tired, fatigued. The mental fatigueness gets transformed into physical inability. So the mind incapacitates the physical body to perform action, abruptly end action. That's why you will find, the slogan called voluntary retirement. There is no voluntary retirement. You die by having the boots on. Die means you work continuously, tirelessly. The physical body will decide when you want to take rest. That's where you get fever. The body is incapacitated. You take rest, again get back. Get back to work. So the first point to be noted here is that yes, we may want variety, but what happens in human life is, that variety gives us that happiness, like how the turkey found happiness in black ants. We will find that happiness, but if we are not able to find happiness in the work, by shifting work, by changing the environment, by changing the place, we will not get that happiness. Arthur Schopenhauer says, it fits in here, it is difficult to find happiness within oneself, but impossible to find it anywhere else. And we keep trying to find that happiness elsewhere. Here, now. So it's like a person wrote, happiness is nowhere. It's like saying God is nowhere. And the paper, by mistake, because of the breeze or whatever, fell down. Father was working at the desk. A child was playing around, moving around. A child who can read and write. Now the child has picked up this piece of paper. Happiness is nowhere. God is nowhere. The child innocently wrote there, happiness is now here. N-O-W-H-E-R-E is that W from W-H-E-R-E is moved to N-O. So N-O-W, now H-E-R-E here. Happiness is now here. God is now here. Instantly, the father here, the person here found that happiness. So it is not the work that is giving us happiness. It is our relationship with that work, how we relate with that work. It is not the person who is giving us happiness. It is how we relate with that person. It is not the profession that is giving us happiness, how we relate with that profession, people. So by changing the profession, by changing the family, by changing the environment, if a person thinks that yes, he or she is getting happiness, it is only short-lived. Like how, a turkey here found that happiness in that variety, in that new black ants. It is like a lollipop, a candy for the child. Just as the candy gives us instant happiness, that variety or that external new thing is giving us happiness for the human being. Once the candy is chewed and taken in, the child is unhappy. The child wants another one. Same way here, that new born commodity, the house or the vehicle, the family, the new job, whatever it is, gives us that initial happiness. Later on, the same thing doesn't provide us any more happiness. Then we are sick and tired, fatigued, we want to change. That variety. How many jobs we will change? If we change, let the world be as it is. We know how to relate with it, how to relate with the world, how to relate with people. Then we are able to find that happiness now, here. So the problem is not outside, the problem is to change oneself. And that is what that spiritual sadhana practice is, to correct oneself, to get that darshana, that vision that this fleshy eye is not able to gain. So the first point here is that variety, yes, no doubt variety gives us happiness, but that understanding, inner understanding is, though I am having variety, that variety is not giving us happiness the way how I relate with it. Second thing, the mind continuously is fulfilling many desires. The world is supply, it is like, the mind is demanding, the world is supplying for the demand. Many a times the demand is not met by the supply. There is a mismatch. Therefore that unhappiness is there. More the demand, less the supply, a person is unhappy. Less the demand, more the supply, the person is happy. Simple formula. So the second point here is, the mind entertaining desires. You fulfill one desire, the second desire is waiting. You pick up a tissue from a box, the small carton. You pick up one, the second one pops up. You pick the second one, the third one pops up. Continuously it keeps coming. Same way are the desires. You fulfill one desire, the second desire is waiting. It is like adding fuel to fire. It consumes, the fire consumes that fuel, that log of wood, and it asks for more. We get fatigued by satisfying, fulfilling the demands. Many times, the demands are not met. The person is unhappy. And that is the second lesson we learn here through this poem. Not to criticize the world. The world here is objects and beings. So not to criticize them. So the whole sadhana is to set right our personality. Friends, everybody is talking about, changing the world. Perhaps we are starting in the wrong place. If you see, the world is nothing but a group of nations. All the, powerful nations, developed nations, the developing nations. So if you take India as such, then that nation called India has many communities. That community is made up of society. Society is made up of family. Family is made up of group of individuals. The point here is, if there has to be a better nation, there has to be a better community. If there has to be a better community, there has to be a better society. If there has to be a better society, there has to be a better family. If there has to be a better family, there has to be better individuals. If the individual is developed materially, spiritually, though living in the world, is contented, happy, and all the time anchored in the higher values of life. That darshana, that vision is developed, inner vision is developed. The person is able to relate with the world properly. The family is happy. Today, in the electronic world, we are able to relate with electronic gadgets, but we are not able to relate with people. We are not able to relate with our own spouse. We are not able to relate with our own children. But we are very good in relating with electronic gadgets. We know how to send messages, receive messages, use the iPhone, the laptop, to the best of one's ability. But we don't know how to make good relationship. We are not able to have conversations beyond 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So the institutions are focusing on the outside world. Is there any institution which is focusing to develop the individual? Therefore, you find the bonsai plant is, the growth is stunted because they shear the roots. When the roots are cut, the plant is not able to dig deep, therefore is not able to shoot up. You see the eucalyptus or the pine tree, so tall. Same way, friends, if we dig deep into our personality with the grounding in values, the physical, the emotional, the intellectual and the spiritual personality shoot up. When we are grounded in spiritual aspects of life, when we are grounded in our emotions, when we are grounded in our thinking, then as a personality we blossom. The family looks up to such a person. The family blossoms. The society looks up to that family. The society grows materially, spiritually. Such a community looks up to this society. The community grows. The nation looks up to that community. As a nation, the nation develops. The whole world looks up to this nation, whatever nation it may be, whichever country it is. Principle is the same. Formula is the same for both material success and spiritual success. There cannot be two different formulae. So if we take care of ourselves, where have we started? We have not started from the world. We have started from the individual. Since the individual has developed, taken up higher values. Now friends, coming back to the poem here, the turkey and the ant, that ant escaping the turkey and not going the same level or going down, it's going up. John Gay beautifully talking about that here is a person who has gained the higher values. What is the higher value here? Instead of having a routine, common ambition to gain money, to run after materiality and sensuality, can I have that ambition as to be self-sufficient? Let my happiness be independent of my external actions. Let my happiness be not dependent on external acquisition. Can I be unselfish? Can I be more cheerful? Can I gain control over my emotions? Jealousy, greed, anger, lust, anything. Can I master the art of thinking? A. Mander talks about thinking is an art, a skill, a technique. We've got to learn it and practice it as we would a musical instrument, a sport, or flying an aircraft. Thinking is an art. Thinking not for selfish reasons, to develop the loka sangraha for the welfare of the community. So these are the 3 points that we learn from this poem here. So before finding fault with others and criticizing them, we ought to look at our own flaws. It is like a person is diagnosed with a particular disease. So the correction process, the exercises, the medicines, or whatever it may be, that becomes the sadhana here. One thing is the person is unaware of what the disease is. Second thing is to know the disease and not taking any action. Third is know the disease and take corrective measures so that a person is cured. Same way, I can say jealousy is a disease. Mental agitation is a disease. So we've got to look within and find out what is that flaw. It is easy to find that flaw in outside person, the world. Do I possess that same flaw or the other, that weakness or the other? Traditionally, if you see, people have fallen a prey for two things: materiality and sensuality. The entire Ramayana, the portrayal is that as though a human being is not satisfied with one's own wife, and he wanted another one. He wants to covet another person's wife. Sensuality. So the conquering of good over evil is what that education in Ramayana is, through a story, an epic. And if you come to Mahabharata, that prince there, Duryodhana, had that jealousy for, that greed for wealth. Time and again, history has proved that human beings have a weakness for materiality, material wealth, and sensuality. And we keep chasing these desires, thinking that, we'll be happy. We have more materiality, more material wealth, we'll be more happy. If we are able to, sensually cater to our desires, we'll be more happy. But the law of neutralization function. What is this law of neutralization here? The more and more a person is, fulfilling materiality and sensuality, a person gets saturated. No more wealth, no more sensual pleasure is able to enhance one's pleasure. The person says enough. No more, enough is enough. This stage where the person says enough is enough is that knowledge is not there in the very beginning of that person's journey. If that person had this realization that his wealth and sensuality is not going to enhance one's happiness in the very beginning of his journey, he would have not pursued that materiality and sensuality. Others are educating him, but he is not able to listen. Unless that realization comes from within, the person will continue to, chase the desire. By hook or crook, whatever it may be. Therefore, the lesson that we learn here is introspect, observe our own thoughts, our own feelings, our own actions, and take that corrective measure. So preferably early in the morning in the Brahma Muhurta time between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. If you are able to afford the time, 2 hours, or between 4:30 and 6 o'clock, not later than 6 o'clock, sit and study. If you are a student, study the scriptures, take in higher values, think for half an hour, and then the remaining 1 hour from 5 to 6, study your own text. You have got to proportion your studies. It's not that only highest values. It is not that only your textbooks. You've got to proportion your intake of knowledge. If you are a professional working in organization, if you're not able to spend that 4 to 6 early in the morning, at least from 5 to 6, you need to prepare yourself for a presentation that particular day. You are a leader. You may be a CEO of organization. Sit with yourself, observe your thoughts, your emotions, your actions. Gain knowledge. Who are you? What are you? What is it that you want to fix as an ambition, as a person, different from the professional person? So all educational institutions give us knowledge. It is not enough. We've got to develop our thinking, called as intellect, buddhi in Sanskrit. It is this intellect which helps us to, face the challenges of life, how to relate with people, how to make the right decision. With that intelligence as the base, make use of it at the right place, at the right time, with the right people. So that retrieving response part of it is done by this intellect. You've got all the information being stored in the computer, but at the right time, the right place, with the right people, you've got to retrieve the information, give the right command. The computer will not do anything. The laptop will not do anything. The laptop has got all the information. The computer has got all the information. Good, bad, everything. But you've got to pick up that information, piece of information, and give it to the right people at the right time, at the right place. And that is what this intellect does. What to transact, what not to transact. What to give, what not to give. Who is that thinking type of person? Who is that emotional type of person? Who is that eccentric type of person? Accordingly relate. The same person, these type of persons are there at home, in the marketplace, in the boardroom, everywhere. Person is one, but the nature of the person, the professional person, is yet another. You've got to differentiate that. In life is with less wear and tear. It's smooth. The journey is smooth. So late in the evening, you do that introspection, self-observation of thoughts. What you have done from the time you got up till the time you are at bed. Quickly recollecting all the thoughts and ideas, all the emotions transacted, all the actions performed during the day without any analysis, criticism. Quickly, just from morning, afternoon, night, that same frequency, that same sequence. So morning study helps to develop the intellect. Early morning study develops your intellect, and introspection in the evening helps to be aware, acutely aware of your actions, emotions and thoughts. Therefore, your intellect is available before the action. As I said previously, 80 to 85% of our actions are repetitive, and in these repetitive actions we commit blunder after blunders. By this developing of the intellect and the introspection, it makes us acutely aware of all our actions, gross and subtle. Something within us alerts us before that word being uttered, action being performed, thought coming in our mind. Intellect is alert, as though someone from within you says, hey, pause, stop. This is not to be told here. So this is what that spiritual sadhana is. Once you have mastered that particular flaw, once you have overcome that, then pick up another one and continue the process till each and every flaw, every weakness of ours is completely overcome. It is like arithmetic, one problem after another. Algebra, trigonometry, etc. One problem after another you take, and everything is in the fingertips, and then you become the master there. Exactly same way even in spirituality also. When all the flaws, you see how it works. So it's something which is outstanding. When you have gained intellectual strength in one weakness. So for example, the weaknesses potency is 25%, and you have gained intellectual strength which is able to combat this 25% of mind's weakness. Then what happens is all the weaknesses in other areas physical, emotional, intellectual, etc., with that 25% of potency is taken care of. It is not that you pick up one weakness after another and then you got to combat it. That potency of weakness, which is of that 25%, is taken care of. They no longer come and trouble us. And then as you keep gaining more and more knowledge, more and more experience, then your intellect grows from 25% to 26% to 30%, 50%. Then all the weaknesses under that 50% potency are taken care of. You've got to experience this, you've got to feel this, how it works. I am only able to give you through words. You've got to sit with this and then first receive it, do that manana, and then nididhyasana, that it's not closed-eyed meditation here. Practice, feel. The more and more a person feels what we have gained, then you transform as a person. And when you transform, that knowledge gets issued forth into action. You start actually living it. You have wisdom. And that is what the spiritual sadhana is. We will continue further. Hari Om.